Time for the second round matches in the Canadian qualifiers for the Pro Wrestling World Cup. This could be a great one. Michael Elgin and Harry Smith.
Well, I mean, we saw earlier Michael Elgin in his first round match against a much taller, longer-limbed opponent, and it's almost like a replay of that. Two men in Dupree and Harry Smith that grew up in this business. Elgin really has, I don't know if that's the luck of the draw because he won, or the unluck or unluckiness of the draw because Harry Smith, in my opinion, is as tough as they come.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a semi-final match in the WCPW World Cup Canadian qualifiers and is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Calgary, Alberta, weighing in at 250 pounds, Harry Smith!
Harry Smith beat FTM, Frankie the Mobster, in the first round, but he's had less time to rest than has Elgin, and this is going to be a real challenge for the son of the British Bulldog.
And his opponent, from Oshawa, Ontario, weighing in at 255 pounds, Big Mike, Michael Elgin!
Well, what an opportunity here for Michael Elgin, having knocked off Rene Dupree in the first round. If he can beat another former WWE star in the second round, what a way that would be to qualify as one of the two representatives for your country in the Pro Wrestling World Cup Finals. Elgin with a lot of support here in Toronto, where he is a hometown boy.
And interestingly, we saw in that first round contest, Harry Smith bending, well actually I'm not going to say bending, breaking the rules, and that theme continues here in his second round match against Elgin, and that is probably why this crowd is more pro Elgin at this point.
One thing that you'd have to say about Harry Smith is that his most recent run in New Japan has really helped him develop a ruthless streak, which can sometimes cross the line into rule breaking. Meanwhile, this has crossed the line into the crowd in the opening seconds between Elgin and Smith. Oh, hang on, there's danger of leaving the building here.
Well, Elgin won his first match by disqualification. He may lose his second by a countout.
Yeah, Elgin was somewhat fortunate in that Rene Dupree made a huge error in bringing in a steel chair. Really lost his temper.
Oh, it's drink in the face.
Smith with those knees into the midsection, into the ribs of Elgin. This one has got out of control very quickly. Referee needs to somehow try and lay down the law here. They are over by the bar area.
My favourite spot in this venue.
To say is, yeah, place you're most familiar with.
I've been there all afternoon.
Elgin grabbing Smith, who was trying to escape. I think, oh my. Goodness me. Smith sent crashing into the floor. There's a chair involved, and Smith hit Elgin with that chair across the back. And I think Smith now is trying to bring Elgin back to the ring, having hit him with that chair. I think he thinks that this is a good time to try and steal the victory early on. But now Elgin's got a chair.
Well, I know referee Jimmy Corderes got a little bit of, what's the word I want to say? Politically correctly, I'll say a little bit of a telling off from that DQ earlier because, you know, management in the back said nobody wants to see countouts, disqualifications, although I don't really think he had much choice when a chair was brought into play. And I think that's the reason he's letting this one go a little bit further in our second round.
Well, to be fair, it has been 6 of one and half a dozen of the other between these two since they've gone outside.
That's the same number.
I know, that's...
Six and one, half a dozen, six.
I know, and the point of the saying.
Unless it's a baker's dozen, which is 13. So that's 6.5.
But it's not. I didn't say it was... Never mind. I don't know why I ever try and use any kind of analogy when I'm sitting next to you. Just completely over your head. Smith, the left leg of Elgin.
Dragon screw leg whip of sorts. But with the guy standing up.
Really twisted the ligaments there of Elgin. Smith capitalising, sending that leg of the knee into the ring post.
And it's the second time that exact ring post has come into play in such a way. Because let's not forget, this is how it all started with Kyle O'Reilly earlier, and we saw what happened to that leg as the match continued.
And that is an ongoing question here as we enter into this second round. Hang on.
Shades of his uncle, Bret the Hitman Hart.
We know where he learned this. And Smith just twisting on the legs. Obviously that move is illegal. He's got 5 seconds to break it. But there's a lot of damage you can do in 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds in that is like 20 seconds or more in a normal figure 4 leg lock. And 20 seconds in a figure 4 is a long time.
Smith really trying to take advantage here, twisting the ankle and then smashing the leg into the canvas. Yeah, and the response for Smith has become decidedly more mixed, you know, since he took that shortcut, that low blow to beat FTM in the first round. Part of that is perhaps that Elgin is a hometown boy and Smith is from Western Canada, but part of it, I think, is a reaction to how Smith behaved earlier.
I would agree with you for the first time ever in our commentary careers.
Really?
Yeah. Make the most of it. It must be the jet lag kicking in.
All that time you spent at the bar.
Oh, in between that and trying to wake up Gabriel Kidd and tell him why he's not out with the rest of us. And now we know why.
Yeah, that was responsible of you.
Right, he won, so he was right.
Oh, so you were wrong?
Well, I wouldn't say I was wrong.
Oh, no, of course not.
Just had a difference in philosophies. He's won him a match and my one got me hammered.
Well, Smith is hammering on Elgin on all these different body parts right now.
Nice, see what you did there.
Good segue, wasn't it? Thank you. He agreed with me and complimented me in the course of 1 minute. It's a career highlight. Smith trying to do more damage to that left ankle. And Elgin is in some real difficulty here. This is actually, as you say, very reminiscent to the situation that Kyle O'Reilly found himself in. And I was going to say a minute ago, that is still one of the big open questions in this second round. What condition will Kyle O'Reilly's left knee be in when he faces Mike Bailey in our very next match?
And let's not forget that Harry Smith's great uncle was the legendary Stu Hart, who, to be honest, when it came to inflicting pain on people, was a very sadistic man. The apple does not fall far from the tree.
In a league of his own, but Harry Smith spent a lot of time in Stu Hart's dungeon as a child and as a young man, learning a lot of those holds. Also had a lot of time trained by Bruce Hart, his uncle. He's trying to twist on that ankle and put that knee in a position it does not want to be in.
And he's got an uncle called Smith Hart, which, considering his second name Smith, would be quite confusing as a child.
Well, only if your intelligence is quite low, like you. But
perhaps if Harry has a kid, he can call it Hart Smith.
Can you stop now? Thank you. Now, hang on. Elgin is trying to grab it. Maybe go for a sharpshooter there. That would have been quite an insult to someone from the Hart Smith family. Smith with a smile on his face, and he seems to be thriving on this slight antagonism from the crowd.
It's not only the peroxide he shares with Ric Flair, it's a strut.
What's he trying to do here? Maybe.
Well, he's just done a strut, Dave, so what do you think?
Well,
do the math on that, Scott Steiner.
Well, I see you're back to your normal condescending self. Anyway, it is a figure 4 leg lock from Smith as Elgin's shoulders are down. Needs to be careful he doesn't lose this by pinfall. Referee Jimmy Corderas is asking Elgin, look at Smith. Smith is using the ropes to his advantage.
He is channeling the dirtiest player in the game.
Again, Smith using the rope that increases the torque on the legs of Elgin. I think Corderas may have seen it that time, did he? No. You can only demand the break if you're the referee if you see the cheating happen. Just seeing the rope vibrating afterwards is not enough. Corderas knows that. Oh, this time he gets him. And finally, Smith with no choice but to break the hold. If he was disqualified here, then Elgin would go on to the finals. Remember, there will be 2 men representing Canada in the last 16 of the Pro Wrestling World Cup at the end of August. It will be the winner of this match and the winner of Bailey versus O'Reilly in just a few minutes.
Oh, now he's channeling Rick Rude. Oh, look at that bridge.
The knee of Elgin and all kinds of twisting and turning positions it doesn't want to be in. This has been a laser-like focus on one body part from Harry Smith. Elgin backed into the corner, and again it's Smith twisting the knee around the middle rope. Another one of those holds that's illegal because it uses the ropes to help, but 5 seconds is a long time to do some damage. Elgin finally moved out of the way of one. Smith hit his knee hard into the turnbuckle. There's a twisting forearm. Nearly knocked Smith senseless.
It's probably the most high-impact offense we've seen in this match from Elgin. That was like full force.
This has been, 80% of this match has been Smith on offense. But there's an enziguri from Elgin. Elgin trying for the German suplex and gets it.
Right on the back of his head. Harry Smith was almost in a state of shock and awe as he went over, didn't manage to protect his head and landed on it as hard as he could. Look, he's dazed and confused.
Here comes Elgin trying to knock some circulation back into his left leg. He clotheslined Smith in the corner. And Smith
drop kick to the knee.
Smith knew exactly what he was doing there. Try for the suplex, gets countered!
Oh, Falcon Arrow!
Elgin, cover on Smith, and it was nearly enough. Left shoulder up. And Smith has found the tables have turned exceedingly quickly here in this second round match.
And give credit where it's due, because even on one leg, he still had the strength to hoist up a man as big as Harry Smith. That was impressive.
Look at this now, Elgin trying to fight through the pain that's definitely there on that left leg, but that's going to be very hard to hit the pile driver like that. Yeah, the sharpshooter attempt from Smith. Elgin knew what was coming, goes straight to the ropes. And it was really limiting the offensive options available to Elgin, the fact that he doesn't have a lot of strength in that left leg, but another German suplex.
So he hit him with so much force it dislodged his jockstrap. I mean, that's impressive.
Elgin has Smith lined up. Go for a lariat, I think Smith blocked. Cover. Will that do it? No, not quite. Smith still very much on top here after a slight comeback. Over the sharpshooter again, this time he gets it. Sharpshooter drags Elgin into the middle of the ring, and Elgin is going to have to, surely he's going to have to tap if he can't reach that bottom rope. Smith hasn't got it quite cinched down as hard as he could. That's allowing Elgin to get a little bit of movement. He's close to the ropes now, but is he close enough?
See, the difference between Smith and Bret Hart was height, and you see Harry Smith now he's cinching back. The problem is, because of the sheer height of Harry Smith, if he cinches back too far, he runs the risk of losing balance and falling backwards, and that may have been the only thing that saved Elgin from managing to get to the ropes there.
Smith and Elgin now find themselves on the ring apron. This is a dangerous place to be, particularly if Smith does what he's planning here. We have pile driver on the hardest part of the ring, the corner of the ring apron. Oh, don't do that. Smith is being blocked here. Elgin using the ropes to hold himself down. This is not a safe place to be for either the wrestlers or the fans in the front row, frankly. Big boot into the face from Elgin. A super kick into the jaw. Smith dropping to the floor.
And this is what Elgin has been waiting for the entire contest. To see Harry Smith in a vulnerable position. And he's got his wish, look at this. Oh, what are we going to see here?
Elgin taking a run and a cannonball dive onto Harry Smith. Been a hard-hitting heavyweight contest here in the second round of the Canadian qualifiers. Only one of these two men, Michael Elgin or Harry Smith, can advance to represent their country in England in August in the finals. Will it be Elgin? It will be if he gets the win here. The leg is hurt and he gets 2 3/4. Elgin feels like the end may be near for Harry Smith, who is struggling to get himself back onto 2 feet. Went for a clothesline, did Elgin? No one there. They both hit each other. Neither man goes down. These two man mountains. It's a low blow. That's the second time we've seen that. Ref didn't see it though. And don't tell me for the second match in a row.
Oh, no way.
That Smith is going to win with the pile driver.
Oh, he got it, Dave. He got it. That's got to be all.
Surely not. Oh, Elgin got out. Elgin got out. Good. You can't do that. You cannot take a shortcut to representing your country in a tournament as prestigious as the Pro Wrestling World Cup.
Harry Smith cannot believe it, and neither can I. I mean, Elgin landed on his head, full force, but he's still in this one, but for how long?
Sharpshooter really could end it. He's already been in this hold once, remember. Elgin was able to make the ropes that first time. Oh, Elgin counters. Elgin's got the legs tied up, and he nearly surprised Harry Smith.
Whoa.
No one home there. Smith ends up perched on the top turnbuckle.
He landed on that top rope with sheer force. That family tree could end up looking like a stump going forwards if he's not careful.
Well, hang on a minute. Elgin maybe going to go for that Elgin bomb. And he gets it! The Elgin bomb! The cover on Smith, and it's enough! It's enough! Michael Elgin will represent Canada!
Michael Elgin!
Michael Elgin will be one of the two men who represents the Great White North in the finals of the Pro Wrestling World Cup this August after a titanic struggle against Harry Smith.
Unbelievable contest and an unbelievable victory by Elgin. Man, that was a shocker, but he deserves that spot in the finals in England because that was outstanding.
Well, Smith nearly stole a victory here in the second round like he did in the first round against FTM. Elgin somehow kicked out of that pile driver and went on to win. Now he holds up that Canadian flag high as he will be going to the finals. But who will be joining him? Will it be Kyle O'Reilly or Mike Bailey? That's what we're going to find out next as these Canadian qualifiers reach their climax